Are you a professional who wishes to improve your pronunciation in the fastest and the surest way? Then my series Simplified English Pronunciation is for you. Hello there, I'm Salia and welcome to our session Simplified English Pronunciation. I spoke in my first session that the shortcut to acquire English is to have a broader mindset to accept its relevance and importance as a global language with loads of positiveness and respect for our mother tongue as well. That's why I repeat, consider English as a medium of communication and don't consider it as a means to win over others or to show off. It is then that the speaker is weighed down by fear and inhibitions. So feel free and tell at least 50 times that you speak this language, English, to communicate your thoughts to the world in the most clear way. And it's very, very important. Mindset, it's very, very important. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് സംസാരിക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളൊരു അവബോധം നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടാവേണ്ടതാണ്. ഓക്കെ, അതൊരു ഫോറിൻ ലാംഗ്വേജാണ്. ഇന്നത്തെ ചുറ്റുപാടിൽ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഒഴിച്ചുകൂടാൻ പറ്റാത്തൊരു ലാംഗ്വേജ് തന്നെയാണ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ഗ്ലോബൽ ലാംഗ്വേജ്, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ലൈബ്രറി ലാംഗ്വേജ്, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ലിങ്കിങ് ലാംഗ്വേജ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൻ്റെ റെലവൻസ് നമുക്ക് പൂർണ്ണമായിട്ടും അറിയാം. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഒരു അറിവ് നമുക്കുള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മളത് അതിൻ്റെ തനിമയോടുകൂടി സംസാരിക്കാൻ നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചിരിക്കണം. Now we shall learn 4 more sounds or phonemes which are very interesting. Now I shall quickly articulate these 4 phonemes and demonstrate how these sounds are produced. The first phoneme is ch, as in chain. How is that word articulated? It's ch. ch. ch എന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഇതിനോടൊപ്പം ഒന്ന് ഉച്ചരിച്ച് നോക്കുക. ch പറയാൻ പ്രയാസമുള്ളൊരു ശബ്ദമാണ്. കാരണം ഈ ഒരു ശബ്ദം നമ്മുടെ മലയാളത്തിലില്ല, അല്ലേ? ch ഇതില്ല നമുക്ക്. അപ്പോൾ അതെങ്ങനെയാണ് പറയുക? അപ്പം നമ്മൾ സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ നാക്ക് ശക്തമായിട്ട് അകത്ത് പുറത്തേക്ക്, അല്ലേ, മോൾ ഭാഗത്തേക്ക് പോകുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പം നമ്മളുടെ നാക്കിൻ്റെ അറ്റം, അഗ്രം എപ്പോഴും എവിടെയാണ്? നമ്മുടെ ടീത്ത് റിഡ്ജ്, മുകളിലത്തെ പല്ലിൻ്റെ തൊട്ട് പുറകിലത്തെ ഭാഗത്താണ് നാക്കിൻ്റെ അറ്റം മുട്ടുന്നത്. ch അങ്ങനെ മുട്ടുന്നതിനോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ അവിടെ നിന്ന് താഴേക്ക് പോവുകയാണ്. ആ ch പറഞ്ഞ് അവസാനിക്കുമ്പോൾ നാക്ക് മുകളിൽ നിന്ന് താഴേക്ക് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അതാണ് ക്വിക്ക് മൂവ്മെൻ്റ് ആണ്. And as it happens, we know the airflow is completely blocked by the tongue and the air is gushing out. And during all this process are taking place, we know that the vocal cords are held apart. So the airflow is moving freely from the lungs through the mouth and producing the sound ch. Okay, അപ്പോൾ അതൊരു voiceless consonant ആണ്. Okay, it's a voiceless consonant and it has a term. The term is, it is a voiceless palato-alveolar fricative. That is the term, but don't bother about the term. You just know the structure and the position of the tongue, and most importantly the sound it produces. Okay, that's all that really important to us. So it's ch. Okay, ch. So when you utter that, notice that the tongue is touching firmly the hard palate. Okay, it's raised against the hard palate and it's almost touching the teeth ridge and raised towards the hard palate. That's how it is articulated. It's ch, ch. As it is raised, we know the tongue is getting to the normal position as the sound is ended. Okay, as the articulation gets completed. And that is the way the sound is articulated. It's ch. The second phoneme is very important. It is almost similar to the first sound, ch, but it's different because it is a voiced consonant. Okay, and the sound is j, j. When you utter that, the position of the tongue is almost the same. Okay, the place of articulation is almost the same. but the difference is in the manner of articulation. That is, we know that the vocal cords come together and the airflow is blocked to a great extent. That vibration is caused, which is leading to the formation of or the articulation of a voiced consonant, that is J. And remember, it is also a palato-alveolar fricative, but it's a voiced consonant. Okay, so it's a voiced palato-alveolar fricative. That is the term for this sound J. And can we give an example? It is J for jam, jam, jam. And another word can be justice, justice. Okay, that's another example. So you might have noticed how the word, how that phoneme is produced. It's J, J. Tongue position ഏതാണ്ട് സെയിം തന്നെ ഏതാ, വലിയ വ്യത്യാസമില്ല. ആ മുകളിൽ ടീത്ത് റിഡ്ജിൽ തന്നെയാണ് സ്പർശിക്കുന്നത്. എന്നിട്ട് അവിടെ നിന്ന് താഴേക്ക് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. ആ ഷ്, ആ ജ എന്നുള്ള ശബ്ദം അവസാനിക്കുമ്പോൾ നാക്ക് താഴേക്ക് വരികയാണ്. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ആ ശബ്ദം പൂർത്തിയാക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, പക്ഷെ വ്യത്യാസം എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ the vocal cords are held closer, leading to the vibration. Okay, that's why it is called a voiced consonant. Okay, so that is it. So we have now learned the second phoneme. Now over to the third phoneme. The third phoneme is comparatively a simpler one. It is a phoneme which is sounded sh, sh. Now, as you can easily understand, it is a voiceless consonant, and this is also a palato-alveolar fricative. Okay, so the place of articulation is again almost the same, but only difference is that the position of the tongue is not as closer to the teeth ridge as in the case of ch and j. Okay, അത്രയും സോഫ്റ്റ് പാലറ്റിനോട് ചേർന്ന് വരുന്നില്ല, അല്പം കൂടെ താഴെ നിൽക്കുകയാണ്. ആ ഒരു പൊസിഷനിൻ്റെ ഡിഫറൻസ് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ, പക്ഷേ ദ പ്ലേസ് ഇസ് ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് ദ സെയിം. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ദ വേ, ദാറ്റ്സ് ദ പ്ലേസ് ഓഫ് ആർട്ടിക്കുലേഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് വെൻ യു കൺസിഡർ ദ സൗണ്ട് ഷ, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് അഗെയിൻ എ വോയിസ്ലെസ് കോൺസണന്റ്. ഓക്കെ, ഷ ആസ് ഇൻ ഷിപ്പ്, ഷിപ്പ്. ഓക്കെ, ഷിപ്പ് നമുക്കറിയാം കുറച്ചുകൂടി എളുപ്പത്തിൽ എയർ പുറത്തേക്ക് പാസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്. ഛിനെക്കായാലും കുറച്ചുകൂടി എളുപ്പമാണ്, കുറച്ചുകൂടി സ്പേസ് അവിടെയുണ്ട്, അത്രയും നാക്ക് പോകുന്നില്ല. അതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ കാരണം. അപ്പോൾ ഷ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എയർ ശക്തിയായിട്ട് പുറത്തേക്ക് പോവാണ്. ഓക്കെ, അതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രിക്ഷനോടുകൂടി പുറത്തേക്ക്. ദാറ്റ്സ് വൈ ഇറ്റ്സ് കോൾഡ് ഫ്രിക്കറ്റീവ്. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഹൗ ഇറ്റ്സ് മോർ ഓഡിബിൾ ടു. ആൻഡ് the example is sh as in ship, as in shine, as in shop, etc. So that is the third sound. This third sound is easy. Okay, comparatively it is easier than the next sound, the last sound. The fourth sound that we're going to learn is a bit tricky one. That is j, j. That's not there in Malayalam. ഴ. പിന്നെ നമുക്ക് അടുത്തൊരു ശബ്ദമുണ്ട്, നമുക്ക് അത് ഴ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ശബ്ദം അതിനോട് ചേർന്ന് വരുന്നുണ്ട് ഏകദേശം. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ദ അപ്രോക്സിമേറ്റ് ഈക്വലന്റ് ഇൻ അവർ ലാംഗ്വേജ്. ഓക്കെ, സൗണ്ട് ഴ എന്നാണ്, വൈബ്രേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, നമ്മൾ തൊണ്ടയിൽ കൈ വിരൽ വെച്ച് നോക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അറിയാൻ പറ്റും, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് കോസിങ് വൈബ്രേഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ വോയിസ്ഡ് ഫ്രിക്കറ്റീവ്. Okay, it's a voiced palato-alveolar fricative, and as you utter this sound, we can feel the vibration. It's j, j. ഇത് നമ്മൾ ഉച്ചരിക്കുമ്പോഴും നാക്കിൻ്റെ പൊസിഷൻ ഏതാണ്ട് നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ അതേ അവസ്ഥയിൽ തന്നെയാണ്, പക്ഷേ വൈബ്രേഷൻ ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് ശബ്ദത്തിൽ വ്യതിയാനമുണ്ട്. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് എ ഡിഫറൻസ്. ഓക്കെ, ഇറ്റ്സ് j as in measure. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ അതെങ്ങനെയാണ്? മെഷർ അല്ല, ഇറ്റ്സ് മെഷർ, മെഷർ. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളത് പുതിയൊരു ശബ്ദമാണ്. പൊതുവേ നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും മെഷർ എന്നാണ് പറയുക. ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് മെഷർ, ബട്ട് ഇറ്റ്സ് മെഷർ. ഇറ്റ്സ് പ്ലെഷർ. ഓക്കെ, ഇറ്റ്സ് മൈ പ്ലെഷർ. ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് പ്ലെഷർ. It's pleasure. Okay, that's it. So these are the 4 sounds that we have learned today. And which were those sounds? We'll take a quick recap. The sounds are ch and j and sh and j. Now we'll do the board work. Now let's practice articulation of the 4 sounds that we have learned today, starting with the phoneme ch. The sound ch, we do not have an equivalent alphabet in English. Okay, and the equivalent alphabet realization is CH. It is this combination of alphabets that produces the sound ch. And this is the phonetic symbol of the phoneme ch. You need not bother about that. You just understand the sound. Okay. Now we'll find the words where we can find the presence of the ch sound, as in chair. This is again a word which is familiar to you, familiar to everyone. It's, how do we pronounce it? Usually we pronounce it as chew. It's not chew, it is chew. It's chew. It's not chewing gum, it's chewing gum. Okay, that's the difference. So it is, the board is shaking. It's chew. That is the sound, chew. So that is the realization of sound in Malayalam. It's chew. Next is cheap. Next word, familiar to us. We have 2 sounds. Church. Church. Okay, those are the words. Now we have again the word here, kitchen. Kitchen. Again a word here, see here, it is the alphabet T, but the sound realization is ch. So that is again the idiosyncratic nature of English language. Okay, so we cannot predict how various sounds are manifested, even though the letters are presented in a different way. It is future. Future. Next again, champion. Champion. It's a word which is familiar to us. Next again, charge. Charge. Again, we find the sound is silent. It's not charge. It's charge. Charge. That's the sound. Okay. So here, once again, we'll articulate the words chair, chew, cheap, church, kitchen, future, champion, and charge. Those are the words. Now we'll learn another one. Now let's find the articulation of another sound. The second sound that we have learned, it is j. J sound. It is manifested by the letter J. But the articulation is j. And the phonetic sound will be this. This is the sound. Okay, but you need not worry too much about it. So let's be more conscious of the sound. Now these are the words where we find the phoneme j manifested. Job, Job. Journey, journey. Here, major. It's not major, it's major. Major. As in it's major. Okay, it's not major, it's major, major. Next, again a very special word. How do we usually pronounce it? We say adjust, adjust. Adjust ചെയ്തൂടെ? Adjust. But it is not adjust, it's adjust, adjust. Adjust, that is a sound. So I will again write in Malayalam for your understanding. This is the sound, adjust. Okay, I hope you understood. And this sound is not as clear as this. Adjust, just, just. Okay, partial audibility over adjust. Okay, that's it. A partial that's it. But I can't find in any other way. That's why I put sound here. Okay, but understand, adjust. That is a sound. Now, this one is again a very tricky word. How do we usually utter that word? Edge. That's how we usually say, right? It's this. But it's not edge, it's edge. It is just this. Can you believe? It's edge. Okay, so that is the right pronunciation. So keep that with you always. Edge. And these are the subtle aspects that will make your pronunciation so much similar to that of the native speaker of English. Okay, so that's it. Next is again a word which is familiar. Usually we pronounce it how? Age. Age. It's age. Age. So the proper pronunciation is this. Age. So this sound is important. Age. This word is again familiar now, right? Because yesterday we learned the same when we learned this sound. Now the pronunciation is village. It's not village, it's village. Village. I'll write in Malayalam. It's village, and it's not this. It's not village, village office, village office. That's how we pronounce, but it is village. Okay, so understand the real pronunciation. Now we learn the third sound manifested in these words. The third sound is sh, and we do not have an equivalent alphabet, but it's a combination of two alphabets sh, which realize the sound sh. And these are the words that we get the sound sh. See here, it's ship, shed. It's a tricky word. Usually we pronounce it sharp. Don't we? Now, how is the real pronunciation? Now, the third word is slightly tricky one. Usually we pronounce it. How do we pronounce it? We say sharp. How do we pronounce it? The third word is a slightly tricky one. How do we usually pronounce it? We pronounce it as sharp, don't we? The real pronunciation is not sharp. This sound is silent. It's sharp. Sharp. I'll write in Malayalam. Almost like the other sharp. Okay, so don't get mistaken. So here the meaning is totally different, but the pronunciation is similar to that of that. Okay, that's it. It's sharp, but it's a long R. It's not a short one, but it's a long one. Sharp. That's the pronunciation. Sharp. Now the next one, it is known to us, sugar. That's something simple. Sugar. Next word, it is mission. Mission. That's the sound. Mission. But see here, see how different the alphabets are. We have two S sound and the voice realization is sh. Okay, so that is the unphonetic nature of the language. Next is again known to us ash. Ash. Next word is again familiar. It is action. Action. This is also similar to that of this. It's passion. Passion. Remember? Passion. Now, this word, how do we utter this word? We generally utter it ration. Ration, right? We generally pronounce this in this way. Ration. Ration, kind of ration. It's not ration. It is ration. Ration. Not this long O. That sound you will learn very soon. Okay, within short time we will be learning that sound. It's a very tricky sound. It's ration. Ration. That is the sound. It's not ration. It's ration. Ration shop. That is the pronunciation. Now we will learn the last sound that we have learned today, the voiced fricative, the voiced palato-alveolar fricative, j. J. Okay, it's a voice sound. And I don't have a clear English alphabet or a combination of alphabets to represent here. So see how it is so much varied. Okay, the realization is so different in all these sounds. So I can't just present before you a clear representative. So I am just presenting for you the phonetic symbol for j. It's like this. This is the phonetic sound. Okay, so now we will find the words. See here, it's not measure, it's measure. Measure. J. Okay, that voice sound vibration, it should vibrate. Only then that sound will come out. Measure. We have to exert. Okay, it's not easy. It's measure. Next it is again the same. Treasure. Treasure. Okay, so if you have to speak like the native, if you have to speak the standard English, you have to take a bit of effort, more than usual. Okay, it's treasure. Again, this is another tricky word. How do we usually pronounce it? We say usual. It's not usual, it's usual. Usual. Again, we have the sound j here. Usual. Usual. And here we have a tricky sound which we will be learning soon. Then that combination will be clear. Okay, usual. That's the sound. Next, here also, it's not casual, it's casual. Casual. We don't have a Malayalam representative to represent that sound. I don't have a Malayalam, we don't have a Malayalam alphabet to represent that sound for you. Okay, it's casual. Okay, that's the sound. Again, this is a tricky word again. How do we usually pronounce this? Garage. That's the pronunciation. But it's not the right pronunciation. It is garage. Garage. Okay, that's it. Garage. It's this. Almost like this. Garage. Garage. But here, in between, there is a sound. There is a very important sound which you will be learning soon. Then only that word will be complete. It's garage. Okay, that's it. Now, over to the next one. It's a word which is familiar. It's a name of a pressure cooker, if you know. How do we pronounce it? usually we pronounce it prestige, prestige, this way, right? We say prestige, but it's not prestige, it is prestige, prestige. Okay, that is the pronunciation. So this is not the right one, forget it and learn the, so this is not the right one, learn the proper pronunciation. It's prestige, prestige. Okay, it's a prestigious issue. Okay, that's it. Next is a word, it's the name of an airplane, it's the name of a fighter jet. It's not, how do we pronounce it? Mirage, it's mirage. Okay, mirage. I think we are familiar with that word, mirage. Okay, that's mirage. Next is the word, so mirage. Okay, it's actually the word that stands for that green patch that we find in the desert. That's mirage. It's not mirage. Again, the word is familiar. Usually we utter it wrongly. We pronounce it vision. It's not vision, it's vision. Vision. Okay. And television. It's not television, it's television. J sound. Okay, so that is the sound. So these are the words. Once again, we will articulate each word. Measure, treasure, usual, casual, garage, prestige, mirage. Last one, vision. These are the words. Now these are the 4 sounds that we have learned today, the 4 phonemes, and the first is ch, which is a voiceless consonant, voiceless palato-alveolar fricative, and this is j, which is a voiced consonant. Okay, so voiced consonant, and you can clearly make out the difference, ch and j. Okay, that's the difference. Similarly, when you come to the third one, it's sh, which is again a voiceless consonant, voiceless palato-alveolar consonant. Sh, sh. See how the voice is coming out, the breath is coming out without much obstruction. Okay, even though there is friction, it is coming freely. The air is coming out of our mouth with audible friction. Okay, that's why it's called a fricative. But the air is coming out. But that's not the case with the sound j. The air is not coming as easily as before because there is vibration more in the vocal cord and it's a voice sound. I hope the sounds are clear. Thank you so much for articulating these sounds with me, and I request you to practice these articulations for gaining more familiarity. And if you found the session useful, please subscribe my channel for more from me. And please let me know your queries, requests and suggestions. So cheers until we meet again.